open this one.
Oh my god, look at this car. It's so hot. Red. Look at this leather everywhere. Oh my gosh, it even has navigation. We should go somewhere. Let's go somewhere on a road trip. Like, we can go all the way across the country, like to New York or something.
Hey, honey! Well, at least this thing is silent.
Wait, can I make a phone call really quick? Because I'm
Oh,
supposed to get my
stop
Brazilian
talking.
wax.
Get out.
What the hell?
Introducing the Node 202 from Fractal Design. It's cool, compact, and quiet. Check the description below for more details. What's up guys, welcome to build log 3 of my custom liquid cooled system. Now in the first two build logs you guys obviously saw a lot of custom painting with the thermal armor on my Sabertooth X99 motherboard as well as the radiators that I'm going to be using in the system. But I haven't even told you guys the full spectrum of hardware that I'll be using in this system. So that's what I'm going to go over right now. If you can take a look here. There it is, sitting nice and pretty. So I'm just going to kind of run through this stuff pretty quickly because there's a lot to go over and I don't want to bore you to death. So starting off with some of the stuff that you already know is in this system is the Define S from Fractal Design. We've got the Sabertooth X99 from Asus. Beautiful motherboard. We've also got a lot of stuff from EK. They've really hooked me up for this project. So starting off with the pump, this is their D5 pump. It's a pump and reservoir combo, as you can see. We've also got their Coolstream PE radiator. So we've got a 360 at the top there and a 240 on the front, aided by some Fractal Design. These are their Venturi HP fans. These are HP 120s, of course. There's going to be 3 of them in push at the top and 2 more at the front that are also going to be in push, giving some nice intake to the case. Above that, we've also got some tubing here, and a lot of you guys were asking me, are you doing hardline tubing or are you doing soft tubing? Well, here's your answer. I'm definitely going soft. Take that for what you will. This is EK's Primo Chill Primo Flex Advanced LRT. And yeah, I could have done hardline tubing, but I figure it's more complicated, and since this is my first time doing a custom build, I just assume that you should probably learn how to walk first before you start running. So that's why I'm going to go with this. And I think even if I had the choice between hardline acrylic and soft tubing, I just think that the soft tubing is going to look really nice in here anyway. So wish me luck on that. We've also got some Mayhem Pastel's Perfect Pink, or Mayhem's Pastel Perfect Pink fluid. I've actually seen Lee from PC Junkie Mods use this in one of his systems a while back, and it looked really nice, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Apart from that, we've got some more water cooling hardware here, including 2 beautiful water blocks for our GPUs, which are the GTX 980 Ti's. Of course, right here it says Titan X, but as most of you know, the PCB is like pretty much the same between the two of them, so EK obviously spent no extra time making a custom 980 Ti version. They're completely compatible, so those will work just fine, along with some sexy backplates for our video cards as well. Gotta have those. Spray paint I'm going to get to later. We've also got this very nice EK Supremacy Evo water block. This is one of the cleanest looking water blocks I've ever seen. I've always been attracted to these types of water blocks, especially the Supremacy line from EK, and I think it's just going to look absolutely stunning once it's all in there. Of course, I've got some EK fittings already attached. I've also got a dual slot terminal to connect the 2 GPUs, and it is in parallel, I believe, so that's going to be pretty sweet. As far as storage options, we've got 2 Savage SSDs from HyperX, or Kingston for those of you who aren't familiar with their HyperX line. So we've got a 240 gig up top. It's going to be my boot drive with some applications, editing software and stuff. And then we've got a 960 gig. Excuse me, we got a 960 gig for pretty much all of the raw files that I'm going to be editing with. We've also got 3 4 terabyte WD black hard drives right here, 2 of which are going to be in RAID 1. I'm going to be mirroring these. I'm going to be putting all the Awesome Sauce archives on it as well, and we've got just a 3rd one, just because, maybe for games and movies and music and photos and things like that. Apart from that, we've got an EVGA Supernova 1000 watt P2. Sorry for the reflection. Let me get over here. You can see I'm on my knees right now. Wouldn't be the first time. This is going to be just enough power, I think, for the 2 GTX 980 Ti's, as well as the 5960X, which I don't have shown here. It's actually in my test bed right now. I'm going to do a little CPU swapperoo voodoo magic, but that's why it's not here. But I will be using a 5960X for the system. Here are the 2 GTX 980 Ti's. The first one, the Gigabyte, is fully referenced. It's got the reference cooler from NVIDIA on it. It's just rebranded Gigabyte logo and a sticker has been slapped onto it. But this one's the Zotac Amp Edition, which I recently did a review on. You can go ahead and check that out if you want. But this is fully customized cooler that works really well, and it's super silent, so I'm a little bit bummed that I'm gonna have to take off the cooler, but I think I'll be okay once I see how it looks with those beautiful water blocks installed onto it. So that's that. And then we've got some G.Skill Ripjaws 4 DDR4 memory. This stuff is blazingly fast. It's 2666 megahertz. 32 gigs is going to be plenty for my needs in this case. And I think that's pretty much it apart from the sleeving. So this is a beautiful Telios line sleeving from Mainframe Customs. If you guys haven't seen my my custom sleeve tutorial where I teach you how to do your own extensions, go ahead and check that out. It's a really good tutorial, and in that video I use this exact same sleeving so you can see kind of what it looks like when it's done. Or you can just stick around for the end product of this build and you'll also be able to see what it looks like when it's done. But here's the deal. Now, this is why I saved the spray paint for last, and that's because I'm gonna need to edit some stuff that I originally thought I would like, and now I don't like so much, which is the thermal armor on the Sabertooth X99. At first I was like, cool with the fact that it was a really dark gray and that the radiators were light gray, and that's why I chose these three colors, because you've got dark gray and light gray, along with black, of course. And I was like, yeah, that'll look fine once it's all done. But I've since then decided I don't like that. And the reason why is because I think there's just too much dark gray in one area, and there's too much light gray in another. And it kind of divides the case. It divides the look and feel of the case, I think. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to pop the thermal armor off. You guys are going to think I'm crazy, because I am. And I'm going to go ahead and mask off all the black again, and I'm going to sand down all the gray, and I'm going to re-spray paint it with the same spray paint. Because remember, these two are the same, came from the same can. Both of these shades, the gray you're seeing here. I just did way too many coats my first run on the thermal armor. So now that I'm a bit more experienced with spray painting, I know I say experienced, but I've really only just spray painted these three things, but it's amazing how much you learn from doing so little. You learn pretty quickly. So I think I'm pretty confident that the next time around when I go over this thermal armor, I'm going to get a gray much closer to the radiators, and I think overall that's going to look really nice. Of course, then that creates another problem, because now I no longer have a dark need for a dark gray in my sleeving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fuchsia stuff, this fuchsia bright spray paint, and I'm going to try to spray paint some of the sleeving pink or fuchsia, whatever. That way, instead of using the dark gray, the sleeving colors will just be black, light gray, and that fuchsia color, which is going to match the liquid perfectly. I think that will really give off the look that I've been intending this whole time for the build, and I think I'm going to be much happier for it. I know it's going to be a lot of extra work to do those things, painting the thermal armor and stuff, and the sleeving, but I think overall the results are just going to be worth it in the end. So enough of me rambling. I'm rambling way too much now. So what am I going to be doing in this video? Well, instead of just talking my ass off, I will actually be installing these two water blocks onto these two video cards right now. And it's gonna be fun, because I've never done it before. I'm really excited. So cross your fingers, everyone. Cross your fingers. I can see you. I can see you right there. You're not crossing them. And let's just see how they turn out. You guys ready? All right, let's do this. Alright guys, so I have hit a snag. As you could probably tell from the time lapse, I finished installing the GPU block on the reference card. Here it is. It's actually very nice. It looks pretty sweet. It's kind of dirty. It's got some thermal paste on it, but I'll clean that up soon enough. But this was fairly easy. I did have to remove the water block at some point because I forgot to put some thermal pads on a few of the regulators. But there it is. It's looking all right for now. Then I started moving on to the Zotac card, which the cooler's right here. Kind of take a look here. There it is. The cooler was really easy to remove. The back plate was really easy to remove. But this heatsink that's covering some of the memory modules, as well as the VRM and whatnot, is like glued shut onto the PCB. And I tried forcing it, but I don't want to force it too much, obviously, because I don't want it to break the PCB. So unless I have a heat gun, which I don't have much experience with, I know you just kind of point at it and warm it up, but that's also more time and something I've never done before. I think I'm gonna have to call it quits on the Zotac card. I'm gonna have to resign the Zotac card for now, put it aside, and just go for the other reference GTX 980 Ti that I have, the PNY one. And I've already spent quite a bit of time getting this one installed. I prefer not to spend too much time on trying to get this guy removed. So on that note, I'm going to set this aside, like I said, and I'm going to work on the other reference 980 Ti. Alright folks, here they are, those two GTX 980 Ti's with their custom water blocks and backplates fully installed. Looking nice, looking nice. If you guys have never seen one of these things, custom blocked GPU in person, I'll tell you right now, the video never does it justice. They are just super sexy, and I think they look pretty damn good in my system so far. If you are curious about doing this yourself, there are a couple things to keep in mind, and I guess this is where I should quickly transition into the things that I learned in this process. The first one being that putting a custom block on your GPU is not difficult. If you think it's hard and it's intimidating, you shouldn't be scared. It's kind of like when I first built my computer for the first time ever. The first one I ever did, I was pretty worried that I would mess it up, and I was like, whoa, I'm so like, this is out of my league type of thing. But it's not really like that. And the same thing goes for something like this. It does, however, take a lot of time and patience to get it right, and you know, you never want to rush this sort of thing. That being said, I did run into a few snags, which also was a good learning experience for me. If you are going to do this for the first time anyway, and you're not too experienced like myself, I would suggest trying to work with a reference GPU first, just because there's fewer surprises, I guess, like the instance that I ran into with the Zotac Amp 980 Ti, where I just couldn't get that damn heatsink off. I wasn't expecting that, and thank God I had another reference 980 Ti lying around. I was able to use that. But that's just another thing I would say. Unless you've done extensive research on that particular model of non-reference card, and you see that it's really easy and simple to take the cooler completely off and mount your own custom one, I would suggest going with a reference video card when doing something like this. Another thing, this is probably more specific, but tweezers. No one ever told me to use tweezers, and I'm sure there's videos out there that do tell you to use tweezers, but tweezers came in handy so much in this this whole experience, just because I could not get the thermal pads on correctly, or I couldn't get them on straight or properly with my fat nubby fingers. Having those precision nose tweezers, the high quality ones, were really helpful, just being able to lift them off of the little adhesive pad that they come on and stick them right onto the whatever it was, the memory chips and what have you, was really helpful. So I would highly suggest getting some tweezers before you take on a task like this as well. Also a little screw tray, a magnetic screw tray. You guys might have seen that in the time lapse. Pick one up on Amazon or wherever for next to nothing, and it's really helpful in this kind of situation because you're dealing with a lot of little screws and you don't want to get them lost. So even having maybe a couple of them, having one or two, might be helpful because you can kind of divide them up evenly between whatever cards that you're using or based on wherever they go. And I think the last thing is, that's it. I think those are all the things. So stay tuned for the next build log. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Toss me a like on it if you liked it. If not, tell me why in the comments. But build log 4, get this. Look at this. Look at this, guys. These are the last fittings that I was waiting for in the mail. They just came yesterday. So, you know what that means? That means in the next build log, we might build this thing. I don't want to say we're going to, because I still have some stuff to do. I still need to paint the thermal armor, repaint the thermal armor, and I might even do some other custom modding, slight custom modifications that I'm going to keep a secret for now. But this means that we are now, I am now ready to build this thing as soon as those other things happen. There's a very specific order these things need to operate in. But we're getting really close. We're getting super close, and I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for joining me along on this amazing journey. It's been super fun. I can't wait to build my second one, now having the experience that I do building this first one. So thanks for staying tuned, guys. I'll see you next time in the next video.